but just give us a call.
And don't forget, we'll be doing the newscast. Eyewitness News at 5:30 is about a minute away or so. But don't forget, if you can, we'll be taking that 339-555 number plus those outstate things during the newscast. We'll come back to you at about 5:42, then again just about 6 o'clock, just before the end, to tell you the total. You know, we're here for you next half hour. If you can help us out, we'd really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're not going to let these people leave this ballroom. They've come here to work, and we're going to make sure that they do that until all of you are tired of calling in, and we hope that doesn't happen. We have until 6 o'clock.
Should we get a shot of the tote?
All right,
see if we got anymore. 6, 2, 3, 5, 3,
1.
There it is. 13,139,326. Fantastic. Don't forget, please call during the news. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Mark and Angela. Just ahead on Eyewitness News at 5:30, news of an alarming trend in one of Minnesota's favorite winter escapes. More snowmobile-related deaths than usual. A roof collapse that kills 2 closes a printing plant in Waseca. We'll tell you how it's affected workers there. And we'll tell you what the governor is doing to encourage you to join the National Guard.
Parts of western and southern Minnesota are experiencing a whiteout. I'll tell you about the snow and wind that's on its way.
In sports, Bobby Knight's guys do something they haven't done at home in a while. And wouldn't it be nice if the North Stars tried something new?
Oh, it would. Those stories and the grand total for Starathon 88 next on Eyewitness News at 5:30.
Now that we're a family, some things have become a lot more important to us. When we had our home insulated, we were concerned about our heating and cooling bills, but we were more concerned about fire safety. So, we selected CertainTeed InsulSafe 3. InsulSafe is non-combustible, thermally efficient fiberglass insulation. Sure, saving energy is important to us, but insulating safely is what InsulSafe is all about.
At LensCrafters, skilled laboratory technicians using the latest equipment mean we can custom grind your exact prescription in about 1 hour. Listen.
They put new lenses in my old frames in about 55 minutes.
They were able to make a tool that's required to make my glasses.
I got my glasses in 47 minutes.
Very professional people.
LensCrafters, quality eyeglasses in about an hour. Burnsville Center, Southdale Center, Lomans Plaza, and now in Crystal Shopping Center, next to Target.
When Sarah lost her sight in a car accident 2 years ago, she settled for what she thought was enough money to get her through life. She didn't use a lawyer. Because she settled for what she did then, she has to settle for this now. The law firm of Pritzker & Meyer doesn't have to tell you that life can be unfair, just what to do when it is. If you've been hurt in a car accident, call Pritzker & Meyer at 333-7151. Personal injury cases handled on a percentage basis. There is no fee unless there is recovery.
You're watching KSTP-TV, Minnesota's News Channel 5.
Live from Minnesota's News Channel, KSTP Channel 5. Mike Binkley, Karen Falloon, and Mark Stevens bring you Eyewitness News.
Winter has turned into a deadly season for snowmobilers in Minnesota. Just last weekend, a man and a woman from Pequot Lakes died when their snowmobiles collided in Brainerd. Their deaths made the total number of snowmobile-related fatalities rise to 10 for this year. Good evening, everyone. Topping Eyewitness News, an alarming trend in one of Minnesota's favorite winter pastimes. Now, 10 deaths may not sound alarming, but consider this. Those all occurred within less than a month. That number is higher than the average reported in Minnesota for an entire year. As Jackie Renner reports, the push for safety is on.
Oh, it gives you something to do and get away from the city, get out in the country and roar through the snow, and it's a good time.
Snowmobiling can be an exhilarating sport. It can also be a dangerous one. Already 10 people in Minnesota have lost their lives in snowmobile-related accidents. Ordinarily, 9 deaths are reported during an entire year. And this year, another 90 people have been injured in snowmobile accidents.
This year, the causes seem to be for the accidents are hitting fixed objects such as snow chunks, ice ridges, things like that, trees, along with, again, we're seeing a big upsurge in collisions with motor vehicles by being up on the roadways where they're not supposed to be.
Brem thinks two things may be contributing to the unusually high number of accidents and deaths. All this new snow has put the snowmobiling bug into a lot of people. Sales are up, and the DNR says a lot of inexperienced drivers are hitting the trail. And since there wasn't much of a chance to get out last year, more experienced drivers may have forgotten safety tips. Those tips include wear the proper equipment, familiarize yourself with the area before hitting the trails, and avoid alcohol. 20% of the accidents this year have been alcohol-related. And to stay safe, slow down. State law considers anything over 50 miles an hour careless driving, and the DNR recommends average speeds of about 30 miles an hour.
It's very easy to go beyond your skills on these machines, and it's very easy to drive them faster than basically anybody's skills can take them. So keep in mind that they are a lot of fun, but they can be very dangerous if they're not driven correctly.
Jackie Renner, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
The state does require snowmobilers between the ages of 12 and 16 to be certified through a snowmobile safety class. If you're over 16, you don't need the certificate, but inexperienced riders are urged by state officials to take the safety course, and you can call 296-4819 for information. The snowmobilers may be happy to hear the snow is coming down in western Minnesota. In fact, those areas of the state are reporting blizzard conditions. Karen Falloon joins us early with details. Karen?
That's right, Mike. We have another storm system right over the upper Midwest, and it's not producing a lot of snow, but it is producing some very strong winds. There are advisories and warnings out for a good portion of the upper Midwest. And for the western portion of Minnesota and the southern portion of the state, blizzard warnings are in effect. That does include the cities of Thief River Falls, Alexandria, Redwood Falls, Mankato, and Rochester, across northern Iowa and for portions of North and South Dakota. Now, as this system moved through Fargo earlier this afternoon, the conditions deteriorated rapidly. They had whiteout conditions. Temperatures dropped 15 degrees in about 5 minutes, and they had wind chills in the 30 to 50 below zero range. And that is going to continue over the western and southern portion of the state tonight, and I'll have more on what all this means for us in just a few minutes. Mike?
All right, Karen, see you in a bit. Authorities in Waseca tonight are trying to figure out why the roof collapsed over a portion of the Brown Printing Company yesterday afternoon. The accident killed 2 workers and injured 4 others. Today, safety investigators from OSHA ordered cleanup crews and others out of the building until officials give the structure a clean bill of health. Company spokesman Harry Popeil says the plant will not be open for at least a couple of days.
We'll be closed on Monday and Tuesday, Lou, as it stands right now. We'll make an announcement on Tuesday afternoon as to when we're going to resume business. That's going to depend on an evaluation of the structure and also looking at what we can run and those other things.
Now, some management staff from Brown Printing met today to figure out ways to help employees at the plant deal with the tragedy. Lou Harvin is in our Channel 5 newsroom. He spent the day talking with some of the people who work at Brown Printing. Lou?
Mike, workers at the plant are still very much in shock over yesterday's accident when the roof collapsed. There are about 1,200 people who work at the company. Now, in a town of about 8,000, just about anybody you talk to there knows someone or works at the company. All of that is making it very difficult for the people in Waseca to accept what has happened.
There was a steady line of cars moving slowly past the accident site this morning. Many of the onlookers, other workers, and their relatives who were not on duty when a portion of the roof here collapsed. Lindell Root has a very good reason to be concerned about the accident. He's an 18-year veteran at Brown Printing as a machine repairman. It was his son-in-law, Gary Gerdes, who was one of the 2 men killed.
You wonder why it didn't, injure more people, the amount of people that were working under this roof. It was amazing that few were injured.
Gerdes was a 10-year worker at Brown Printing, married with 3 children. Dave Bach, meanwhile, considers himself one of the luckiest people at Brown Printing. He was working about 20 feet away from his co-worker, Gary Gerdes. Bach left a construction job over a year ago to come to Brown Printing. He says it will take a long time to get over this accident.
I can't really explain it. It just came down all of a sudden. That's about it. There's, you keep going over it in your mind, but there's so many things you wonder about.
Now, Bach told me today he suffered only minor injuries when the roof collapsed yesterday, and he said as to why he happened to have not been injured, he has no idea whatsoever. Mike?
A lot of people were lucky. Thanks,
They were.
A paperboy spotted a fire in Lino Lakes this morning that destroyed a house. Firefighters were only able to save a garage, and one firefighter had to be treated for frostbite. No one was home at the time. A blaze last night in Devils Lake, North Dakota caused $1 million damage at a high school there. Firefighters managed to stop the fire at Central High School from spreading to classrooms in the main part of the school. This weekend, a lot of Minnesotans spent their time working for Uncle Sam and the state. They're among over 12,000 members of the Minnesota National Guard who get paid $55 a day to augment the national defense. But Guard members also help out in times of state emergencies. Now, for the first time during this decade, membership in the Minnesota National Guard is on the decline. The problem is a change made last year to simplify tax laws took money out of these soldiers' pockets. John Wingate reports efforts are underway now to change that.
Since World War II, Minnesota National Guard members have gotten a break, a $3,000 tax exemption which puts some extra money into their pockets every year. But that exemption was dropped last year in the name of tax reform. 14-year Guard veteran Alan Clausen of Brooklyn Park says the incentive was important to him.
This was one of the reasons I got in, was because of this tax exempt thing. Plus, you know, it's a part-time job and stuff, but then we're kind of thinking about getting out now.
But some Guard members have done more than think about it. Since the tax exemption was dropped, Minnesota National Guard membership has fallen by nearly 300. Sergeant Bill Fisher oversees 34 people in his Guard unit in St. Paul. He says the legislature sent the wrong message to Guard members.
They feel taken for granted. I've lost about maybe 3 people in the past year just because of financial reasons. They could get something better in the private sector.
Patriotism is still a big reason why people join the National Guard. But officials say economic realities must be addressed, too. That's why a panel appointed by the governor is recommending the tax exemption be reinstated for the National Guard, and that members be given annual bonuses or help in paying up to half of their college tuition.
When we are competing with other employers, part-time employers, if you will, we have to be able to offer a competitive incentive package.
The incentive proposals go to Governor Perpich's desk later this week, the first step in the effort to try and get Minnesota's National Guard membership heading back up. John Wingate, Channel 5 Eyewitness News in St. Paul.
When we come back, we'll talk with the weary hosts of Starathon 88, a local and national effort to raise money for United Cerebral Palsy. And later, we'll meet a St. Paul man who's celebrating a big birthday with all of his friends.
It used to take hours to do a roast this perfect. Now it takes just 30 minutes in your microwave with the Tender Cooker. Juicy roasts, whole chickens cook oven tender, microwave fast. The Tender Cooker cooks foods under gentle pressure at higher temperatures, which seals in moisture and flavorizes food. Now you can cook more good foods oven tender, microwave fast. The Tender Cooker from Nordic Ware.
Nordic Ware Tender Cookery, available at Target.
This Winter Games memory is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. The 15th Winter Olympiad in Calgary marks the second chance for St. Paul speed skater Katie Klein.
I was happy just to make the Olympic team in '84, and now I hope I can place good at the Olympics.
Katie has moved to the top of her class in the 1,000-meter event. A year ago, she finished third in the Worlds. A repeat performance in February may be worthy of a medal.
Seems like the whole country's getting in shape for the '88 Olympics.
Including Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They're sponsoring the games on TV.
And providing health coverage for America's athletes.
Not to mention 1 million Minnesotans.
And with the Ware Gold, HMO Gold.
And Senior Gold.
You don't have to be a gold medal winner to get that great coverage.
I just love men's figure skating. What's your favorite event?
Weightlifting.
Turn to gold with Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Another 30 seconds of common sense. Shop around, and you'll find that the average price of a used car today is almost $6,000. Lots of money for a car you know nothing about from someone you'll probably never see again. Especially when you can buy this brand new Hyundai Excel for just $52.95, or this Forder for just $57.95. Ever think you'd see the day when a new car would become a sensible alternative to a used car? Think about it.
Test drive an Excel at your Twin Cities Hyundai dealer. We sell cars that make sense.
So we're going to turn some numbers.
Turn them. 8, 3, 8, 2, 72, 838.
That was earlier this afternoon. Let's go now to Mark Sapelsa and Angela Storr for one last pitch on the telethon to fight cerebral palsy. Starathon 88. Hey, you guys passed six figures a while ago.
Hey, we've done
Doing
really
pretty well, Mike.
You know, Mike, the last time we talked with you, it was Saturday night, and at that time we had like $13,000 up on this tote board. Well, you can see that we have come a long, long way since then.
139-326. And listen, we still have, I feel like such a car salesman here. We still have 15 more minutes left, folks, and dial this number. You can do it again. Yeah. Mike, we'll talk to you at the end of the newscast, okay?
All right, I'd buy a car from you. As you said, we'll be back to you later in the news to get the pledge totals. Now, some other fundraising efforts are winding down this evening. About $1,500 has been raised by U of M students to help in the fight against hunger. Students have been using WMMR campus radio to get their message across over the past 3 days, and they've been doing it outside in the sub-freezing temperatures. At the Eden Prairie Mall, people have been riding exercise equipment to raise money for the March of Dimes. It's called the Chocolathon because the Hershey Chocolate Company is making donations for every hour of exercise. So far, about $1,500 has been raised there, too. Well, winter is leaving its tracks across Minnesota again, blowing its way to Wisconsin. We'll tell you about the new snow and the blizzard conditions it's causing when we come back.
Turn off the lights. At last, Platoon. At your video store now.
Platoon. Available at Adventures in Video.
January's not usually the time for anything warm.
So this year don't miss the hot bargains during cold weather savings at Mills Fleet Farm.
The 13-foot Versaladder is adjustable for many jobs. It's fully assembled and ready to use, now only $77.49.
Shop Fleet Farm's home center stores for Weyerhaeuser, the panel of experts. Elegant wood grain paneling is just $8.99. Other beautiful patterns on sale, too. So take our advice.
Don't get left out in the cold.
Shop now for the hottest buys during cold weather savings at Mills Fleet Farm.
Two cars from Dodge show the world how America competes. Dodge Omni America at $59.95, the best value of any small car from America. And now Dodge Aries America at $69.95, one of the best value, lowest price compacts from America, Europe, or Japan. Both get a 770 protection plan. Yes, America can compete. And Dodge has the cars that prove it.
As we speak, the wind has shifted and the front has started to move into the Twin Cities.
That's right. Just moments ago, the wind has shifted. It was calm there, and I took a look one more time, and the winds have suddenly shifted to the west-northwest, and that means the front has come through. We have a storm system which earlier this afternoon was centered over St. Cloud, and it is moving right across the upper Midwest. And out ahead of that system today, we had breaks in the clouds. We had temperatures reach the lower 20s over southeastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin. And then the clouds rolled back in a little later on this afternoon. Behind this system is where the worst of it is. As I mentioned earlier, as that system moved through Fargo, they experienced whiteout conditions, a 15-degree drop in about 5 minutes. They had 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts. In fact, one of the highest wind gusts was 51 mile an hour at Fergus Falls. Well, now this system is moving through, and there's just very little snow with it, but the rather windy conditions prompted the blizzard warnings for the northern half of Iowa, a portion of southern and western Minnesota, and portions of North and South Dakota. Now, this does not include the Twin Cities area. We are under an advisory for snow and blowing snow, and there may even be times when we could experience near blizzard conditions for short periods of time. However, we are looking at just an advisory with the blizzard warnings out for the western and southern portion of the state. Now, looking at the radar, looks rather bleak this morning. It was just a few snow showers up to our west. Some of those snow showers moving through the Twin Cities area. Some redevelopment on the northwest side of the metro area. Right now on the radar, though, most of it is moved to the east of us. At least that's what we're picking up, because snow, light snow, is still falling out over western and southwestern Minnesota. Too light to pick up. It's the blowing snow that's causing the problems. So far today, we've had a high of 21 degrees. Our low this morning was 5 degrees, and we've had just about an inch of snowfall. We'll get about 1 to 3 inches here in the metro area. East central and east central Minnesota and western Wisconsin will see an average of about 2 to 5. Right now, with snow showers, 20 degrees. The winds have just now shifted to the west, meaning the front has come through, and we expect those temperatures to start falling. Now, by tomorrow, this little storm system will be over the Great Lakes region, and the weather headlines tomorrow will be the Arctic air making its way to the mid-Mississippi Valley and another storm system developing over the southeastern corner of the country. This one will be a major winter storm for the mid-Atlantic states through the New England states for Monday and Tuesday. For the Twin Cities area tonight, though, the advisory for snow and blowing snow, 1 to 3 inches possible, temperatures dropping below 0. Waking up, just a few flurries. The winds will have diminished somewhat to 10 to 20 miles an hour, and we'll see 6 below 0. Most of Monday will have sunshine, mostly sunny, a high temperature around 0. Monday night, clear and cold with lows 9 below to 14 below, and on Tuesday, increasing clouds again, snow developing during the afternoon with highs in the lower teens. Looking ahead, we have the possibility of flurries on Wednesday, but the chance of rain and or snow on Thursday because the temperatures will be finally warming up. In fact, we might see 30s on Thursday afternoon. No sunshine, just very warm winds.
All right, Karen, some more snow news here. If you live in St. Paul, take note, there's a new snow emergency that begins tonight. At 8 o'clock tonight, crews will be out plowing snow emergency routes. On Monday, there's no parking on north-south routes as plows clean up those streets. And on Tuesday, there's no parking on east-west streets. Still ahead in sports, the North Stars will try to rebound after a whale of a loss last night, and a long, long home winning streak comes to a halt in Indiana. Mark Stevens has it all next with Eyewitness Sports.
Today, a refresher course in sore throat. There's the one from smoking, the dry, tickly kind, the burning sore throat. Fortunately, there's great-tasting Luden's cough drops. Luden's help replace pain with pleasure. They quickly dissolve to coat irritated, inflamed tissue with soothing, cooling relief. So, for minor sore throat problems, get major relief from Luden's.
He's a doctor of optometry here at the Eye Works. First step in the glasses fast, glasses right promise. Thanks, Steve. This little piece of paper is my prescription for a new pair of glasses. Now, here's the really fast part. The lab's right here in the Eye Works with the specially trained technicians and all the latest equipment. He can make my glasses in an hour. You can stay and watch if you want. The new me. That's fast.
The Eye Works. Glasses fast, glasses right. Coming soon to Maplewood.
As you can see, the preparation for Best Buy's annual warehouse clearance sale is almost complete. We've cleared out items from every corner of our massive warehouse and shipped hundreds of great bargains to every Best Buy superstore, which means the time is right to get big savings. Name brand stereos, TVs, video recorders, appliances, and cameras are all priced to move. And speaking of moving, you better move yourself to Best Buy before the good stuff is all gone.
This month, your Greater Metropolitan Pontiac dealers make Grand Am excitement more affordable than ever. This month, you can choose from over 500 new Grand Ams. You can save over $1,300. In fact, with special factory savings, you can now buy a new 1988 Grand Am with air conditioning, tilt wheels, AM/FM stereo, and more for only about $178 a month. Yes, $178 a month, but you must buy this month at your Greater Metropolitan Pontiac dealers.
1988 has not exactly been the best year so far for the Minnesota North Stars.
It's a banner year. 1 for 88, 1-8-3. Noted the second worst in the NHL. There is one good thing, though, about what happened to the North Stars last night. You see, they don't have to think about it for too long. They go right back to work tonight at the Spectrum in Philadelphia after yesterday's big 0 in Hartford. Now, the Stars' newest member, Mo Mantha, made his debut last night, but brought with him no momentum. What he saw can't make him too excited about being here. Just a minute 8 in, Paul McDermott, the first of a pair of goals for him on the night. The next 4 minutes had to make Donnie Beaupre dizzy in the nets for the Stars. 3 more Whaler tallies. By the time the dreadful first was over, it was 5-0. Both sides just kind of went through the motions the rest of the way. 5-0 losers last night. Again, the Stars will try and give it a go at the Spectrum. Oh, in just a little while. One other game in the NHL. That was played this afternoon. Los Angeles is a 2-1 winner over Winnipeg. Well, I guess you could say that last night the hockey Gophers really went to the Dogs, making it a real rough night. That's my Collie impersonation. UMD Bulldogs held the Gophers to just 1 goal. They beat them 2-1 for the weekend split. Now, the Gophers drew first blood in this game. Frank Gersich will get his second goal of the year. Gophers led it 1-0, but the Bulldogs battled back to tie the game, and with just 28 seconds left in the second period, Scotty Keller will tip in the winner. UMD holds on. They beat the Gophers 2-1. They get the weekend split. Now, the Gopher basketball team would gladly settle for a split with anybody in the Big Ten. Their big streak has reached a big 21, as in 21 straight conference losses. Ohio State did it to them last night at Williams-Arena. Jay Burnson was the burner for the Buckeyes. He was red hot. He hit his first 5 shots on his way to 26 for the night. The Gophers trailed by 8 at the half, but got within 4 early in the second half when freshman Kevin Lynch hit that three-pointer. But the Buckeyes know how to win in the Big Ten with muscle. Tony White, the Ohio State dunk, leads the Gophers 0-5 in the conference. They'll visit Michigan State on Wednesday. Speaking of streaks, Indiana's 29-game home court winning streak is over. In Big Ten play this afternoon, Bobby Knight's guys manhandled by Michigan. Romeo Robinson scored 11 straight for Michigan at one point today. He finished with 17. Now, the Hoosiers were in it for a little while. Dean Garrett kept them within striking distance. He had 14, but Michigan blew it open late. Gary Grant gets it to go there. Michigan's now 5-1 in Big Ten play. Indiana's 1-4, 72-60 losers today nationally. Number 2 ranked North Carolina against 20th ranked NC State. J.R. Reed, the early lead for the Tar Heels there. He had 17. The Wolfpack came back, though. Charles Shackelford, the great move, 28 points to lead all scores for NC State. But North Carolina went ahead late in the game. Kevin Madden, a jam there on the back door. North Carolina escapes with a 77-73 win. Temple is no longer unbeaten. UNLV beats them today at Las Vegas, 59-58. And Georgetown is a 69-68 winner today at Syracuse. That's where the photo finish of the day was at. Georgetown's trailing the game by a point. Charles Smith had the scoop at the buzzer that did it for Georgetown today. Here he is on the drive. The basket makes the Hoyas winners. They defeat the Orangemen 69-68 at the Carrier Dome. To golf, and you might say that Jay Haas needed a little luck and a lot of hope to win the 1988 Bob Hope Classic. Got both of them today, plus a check for $180,000. This is his finish on 18. Nails the birdie. That's the way to finish things off. 22 under for the tournament, 70 today. 2 shots ahead of Dave Edwards and Bob Sway, 180 grand too. Let's try tennis now, and something about home cooking just isn't settling right with Pat Cash. For the second year in a row, the Australian lost in the finals of his country's national tournament. Sweden's Mats Wilander outlasted Cash in the 4.5-hour match that ended early this morning. Wilander won the first set, then Cash captured the middle 2 and looked to be a good bet to be a home have been the Vikings. But it's not. It's the Washington Redskins leaving for San Diego this afternoon as they begin preparations for next Sunday's Super Bowl. The Broncos will leave for the West Coast tomorrow. Kind of makes you jealous, doesn't it?
It does.
Didn't like the look of that.
All right, Mark. In 100 years, you can meet a lot of people. Just a fraction of those in the lifetime of the Reverend Charles Grant of St. Paul gathered to wish him a happy 100th birthday at Faith Lutheran Church today. And to honor the day, they sang his favorite selection, the Hallelujah Chorus from Handel's Messiah. And if you ask many of those present, they'd tell you that Pastor Grant either baptized them, married them, or even introduced them to their spouses. Another check on the snow?
We have an advisory for snow and blowing snow in the metro area, 1 to 3 inches possible, those winds gusting up around 30 miles an hour. If you were planning to head outside the Twin Cities to the west and south, it's unadvisable. The blizzard warnings are out and whiteout conditions being reported.
All right, Karen, and before we leave here, we want to make one last check with Mark Sapelsa and Angela Storr on the final totals from Star-a-thon 88. Folks?
Mike, as you know, we've been here just about 19 hours now, and this is the big moment. This is the moment everyone's waited for. This is the moment everyone's contributed to.
The culmination. Let's take a look at the final tote that everything from Minnesota and beyond that you've all donated. Here it is.
1, 8, 9,